Hello and welcome, my name is Kyle FtW and welcome back to another Call of Duty Vanguard video. Today we are back with another best class setup video. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Cooper Carbine assault rifle, which was added into the game with the launch of Season 1 here within the game. Now this is a pretty good class here. I really do like this weapon a lot. It reminds me, for those guys who have used the AS-44 or ranked up the AS-44 here in the game, it feels a lot like that gun. It has a very fast fire rate and pretty low recoil, I would say. And overall, it's a pretty good assault rifle in this game. I have started to run into it a lot here in the game, and I think it's definitely a really, really good one. Now, this is a multiplayer class. I should go ahead and make that pretty clear to start off with. This is not a Warzone class by any means. I mean, it could be pretty good in Warzone, but this is definitely focusing more around multiplayer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the class. So starting off here with my very first attachment for the muzzle, I have gone for the MX silencer, which improves sound suppression and accuracy both by 1 at the cost of aim down sight speed. Now, pretty much I use this attachment basically because I just like being off the radar, and the bonus about this specific silencer is that it is better than the Mercury silencer, which is improves the recoil control, but at the cost of damage range, and this one does not have any effect on damage range, which is really, really awesome. So that's why I personally use it. Again, just like staying off the radar. I did test the F8 stabilizer, which I think is one of the better attachments in the game. But unfortunately, I was just not really doing very well with it today. I would, get into gunfights and, I would get shot in the back because it's on silence. And one thing about the Cooper Carbine within the game here is that it's really, really loud. It's an AR that you can hear from across pretty much the entire map. So while the F8 stabilizer is really good, I definitely like the silencer, and the silencer definitely felt better. But as far as the secondary attachment goes, you cannot go wrong with the F8 stabilizer at all. It's just a really, really overall pretty good attachment. For the barrel, I have gone for the 22-inch Cooper Custom barrel, which makes the weapon highly accurate and controllable, reduces the scope sway and gun bob, and also improves the fire rate at the cost of sprint to fire speed and hip fire accuracy. So again, in my opinion, this is the best barrel in the game. I did test the Ragdoll short barrel, which improves aim down sight speed, aim walking movement speed, and sprint to fire speed. And I also even tried out the Ragdoll barrel, but this one is just the best by far. Making the weapon highly accurate and controllable means it's going to have less recoil, be an overall better weapon. Reduced scope sway and gun bob means that it's just going to be a little bit easier to use, and then the fire rate increase makes the weapon even better because, again, that increased fire rate. Now, the cons for this: sprint to fire speed and hip fire accuracy really aren't important when it comes to an assault rifle. They can have impact if you're trying to really rush effectively with this weapon, but again, you're not going to really want to be hip firing with the assault rifle because assault rifles have pretty bad hip fire as it is. For the optic, again, this is very much personal preference. You could use anything, but I've gone personally for the Mark 8 reflector. I think it's just the best optic in the game. It basically gets rid of any sort of barrier or any sort of border around your sight, and it's just one clear, easy to use optic. I have switched the reticle. I've switched the reticle to the TAC Chevron, which in my opinion is better because the base reticle for this sight is really not good at all. I think it's just really hard to use and kind of clunky. So definitely I'm a big fan of the Mark 8 reflector. Is really, really nice. Makes that precision sighting really clear. And again, the iron sights aren't really good on the Mark or the Cooper Carbine, so that's why I've gone for that. There's no iron sight attachments with this weapon, so there we go. And again, that's also a pretty early attachment. Now, it seems like with what they did with this weapon was they basically made all of the attachments early, all the really, really good attachments early unlocks, which I think is really awesome, and makes people able to kind of experience what a really, really good gun is like early on. For the stock, I've gone for the Cooper 45 RS, which improves initial accuracy and recoil by 2, improves aim down sight speed by 1, and improves recoil recovery by 1 as well, and at the cost of hip fire accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. Again, I really like this barrel. I tested other ones as well, and this one just felt like the best to me. That initial accuracy and recoil control can be really, really helpful. Again, that accuracy and recoil during sustained fire decrease can come into effect if you're really, spamming a lot, but if you aim down sight and then shoot, you're going to be very, very accurate right away, which is very, very nice. And again, improving that aim down sight speed is never a bad thing, and then recoil recovery makes the gun even easier to use as well. Now jumping over here with my underbarrel, I've gone for the M1930 Strife Angled Barrel, which which improves accuracy by 2, aiming stability by 1, and aim walking steadiness by 1 at the cost of sprint to fire speed. Now again, just another attachment that basically reduces the recoil a lot, makes the weapon even better and more accurate. That's always a really, really positive thing when your weapon is more accurate, because again, the less recoil it has, the better it's going to be at the cost of sprint to fire times, which is again kind of a negative. I have decreased the sprint to fire time quite a bit, but again, when it comes to ARs in general, you're usually supposed to stay, medium to long range with them. So again, it's not really that big of a deal. And plus, the sprint to fire time is pretty quick in this game to begin with anyway, so you don't really notice it. It can feel a little bit slow, but once you get past it or get used to it, it becomes pretty dang easy. And we also have some attachments that basically kind of negate the sprint to fire time negatives. For the magazine, I have gone for the 30 Carbine 45 round mags, which improves bullet velocity and range by 2, improves damage by 1, improves bullet penetration by 1, and improves the ammo capacity by 1 at the cost of recoil control and accuracy by 5, -3 to aim down sight speed, -2 to fire rate, and -1 to movement speed. And all of those negatives sound really, really bad, but trust me, the positives with this magazine just completely negates all of that. It is a really, really good magazine. One of the biggest reasons for that all is that with combined all of the recoil attachments that I have on this weapon, you don't really notice that -5 recoil control and accuracy. Again, that sounds really bad at the when you hear that and see what that can be like, but you don't notice it. If I'm shooting for a long period of time, like I'm shooting a whole magazine at someone, the recoil will kick up quite a bit, but other than that, with how fast the time to kill in this game is, you don't really notice it at all. And the aim down sight speed by 3, we're kind of fixing that a little bit in some ways. And then the -2 fire rate, we basically have a normal fire rate now. And then the movement speed, you don't really notice either because of a perk I'll talk about later in the video. But again, this is just, in my opinion, the best mags. I did play with other magazines here in this game as well. I even tried the 60 round drum, but again, I just like it. I just think it's the best. I would either go for this or the 20 round mag, or I just wouldn't even go for a magazine with this weapon. I think it starts off with 30 rounds or something like that. So, but again, I've just gone for the 45 round mags. It feels really, really good. And as you guys can see from the gameplay, the gun doesn't really kick that much, even from long range, which is awesome. For the ammo type, I've gone for lengthen, which improves the bullet velocity by 3. This is kind of not necessary with the ammo that I have on it, but again, I just think it's the best. I can't really think of anything else I would use. I mean, frangible is pretty good. The incendiary rounds are good. I even tried the compressed rounds, which improve the fire rate by 2, but lengthen just feels the best to me. Being able to take out enemies from long range quicker is just always nice to have with an AR, especially because other players will be using lengthen on their ARs as well, like the STG, and this weapon needs that. It's just really, really nice to have that improved bullet velocity. Again, for those guys who don't know what bullet velocity is, essentially it makes the bullets hit the target quicker from longer ranges. If I don't have lengthened on, shooting an enemy from really, really far away will mean that the bullets don't hit as quickly as it does with the lengthened ammo type. And again, in my opinion, I think it's just the best. Now for the rear grip, this is where things change a little bit. Again, I definitely wanted to go for this one because it really, really helps, and I've gone for the granular grip, which improves aiming stability, aim walking steadiness, and aim walking movement speed. Now, there aren't any stocks within this game except for one that improves there's no stock for this weapon that improves the aim walking movement speed, and that's definitely a negative. Again, for those of you who have played Call of Duty for a long time, once you go to Stalker from Modern Warfare 3 or stock attachments from other Call of Duty games where that aim down sight speed or that aim movement speed with assault rifles is quick, you just never go back. You never want to change that because it just feels so nice. I mean, Stalker in Modern Warfare 3 was a must run for me, same with stock in in Black Ops 2. Now, of course, stock or aim walking movement speed is not as important in this game as it has been in previous Call of Duty games because they nerfed it down quite a bit, but still, it's pretty useful, and I like having that +1 to it because, again, I don't have any negatives to it, so I might as well have a nice little aim walking movement speed, especially because we've hurt the sprint to fire time with this weapon. Having that aim walking movement speed is really useful. And again, aiming stability obviously makes the weapon a little bit more stable, making it more accurate and everything like that, and I think that it is a really, really good grip. Now or rear grip, I should say. Now for the proficiency, I've gone for vital. I pretty much wouldn't expect anything else, honestly, because Vital is just the best, the best proficiency in the game. Now, it says increases the size of the critical hit area on enemies. Vital has no effect when paired with larger caliber rounds, which I think means that this is pointless on this weapon, but I don't know. It feels like it's not pointless, so I don't know. But if the weapon still kills really fast with Vital, so I've gone for Vital because, again, it increases that critical hit area, which means basically from what I believe, I haven't done any tests on this myself, but I think it's from chest to head is basically that, headshot multiplier. But either way, this weapon kills really, really fast nonetheless, and whether Vital works or not, I don't really know exactly, but it's still really, really good, and I like it the best. Some potential backups could be hard scope or tight grip or brace maybe, but again, I've gone for Vital here with this class. And last but not least, for my final attachment, I've gone for fully loaded, which gives you max starting ammo. Pretty self-explanatory. I like having a ton of ammo, and I don't like running out of ammo, and without this, I would just be 45 and 90, which means I would run out of ammo really, really quickly. I think the streak in the first gameplay, which you guys probably already saw, I wouldn't have been able to do that streak without fully loaded. And because there's no other really good kits, I mean, maybe Deep Breath is okay, but the rest are just kind of melee only focusing. So fully loaded, in my opinion, is a no-brainer for the kit. It's just really, really good. And yeah, having all that ammo is really, really nice, especially because this is a really good AR, and you will go on some pretty nice streaks with it. Now that the weapon is out of the way, we can go ahead and talk about all the other stuff, the secondary weapon, the perks, and the lethal and tactical. For the secondary, this is again up to you, but I've personally gone for the machine pistol. Again, I don't really use secondaries that much in this game because I just haven't really needed to use them, because I'm used to the pick 10 system where I never ran a secondary in most Call of Duty games previously, but the machine pistol is pretty good. It seems to always kill with that last bullet in that 10-round mag, but again, you can use anything. If you don't want to use the machine pistol, the RATT is really good, or the rat pistol. You could use a launcher if you wanted to, a melee weapon. It really is up to you. But with the secondary, because I know secondaries aren't really that useful in this game. I mean, they're good, but no one really uses them that much. But again, I've just gone for the machine pistol because I think it's the best. It just comes in handy when I get into those gunfights where I don't know if I'll win it or not, or I run out of ammo and there's another enemy right there. Just useful to have. But again, that is definitely up to you. As far as the perks go, this is where things are a little bit different from my last best class setup video. For my perk 1, I've actually gone for cold-blooded, which says AI controlled kill streaks will not target you, and player controlled kill streaks will not highlight you. You do not trigger high alert, reduces the range at which awareness markers appear for enemies. Now, I used to only run Ghost in this game pretty much exclusively, but once I started to get killed more by players using high alert than people using UAVs, I switched to cold-blooded because I just was sick and tired of getting, seeing an enemy, shooting at them, trying to chase after them, and then all of a sudden they see me on their high alert, so they're just waiting for me around the corner. So not having the enemies pick me up on high alert is just really, really nice, and I, will probably be using cold-blooded for the duration of the game just because of that simple fact. High alert is one of the more popular perks in the game, and not being picked up on that is just really, really nice, especially because I'm a very rush-heavy player. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you can't rush like an absolute madman with this Cooper Carbine class, but being just, not getting shown up on that from high alert is just really, really nice. Again, not getting killed by dogs is also really nice as well. Being invisible to, glide bombs, all that type of stuff is really, really nice. And cold-blooded is definitely one of my favorite perks in perk 1 for now. And that's what I'm rocking with. Now, as far as my perk 2 goes, I'm pretty sure this is not a surprise to anyone, but I've gone for radar once again, which is enemies appear on your minimap when they fire an unsilenced weapon. Basically brings the old classic minimap back from previous Call of Duty games. I just liked having it. I like having that original classic minimap. It basically means that I have an advantage over enemies because not everyone uses radar, especially because, as I said previously, high alert is so popular. But radar is just really, really nice. Having that normal mini-map back into Call of Duty is awesome, and I probably won't switch to anything else. Piercing Vision is a really, really good perk, but I'm so used to having the classic mini-map that I just don't want to not have the classic mini-map. And then last but not least, for my final perk in the perk 3, I've gone for lightweight once again, which increases movement speed. I think it also increases other things, negates some effects, because lightweight is just such a great perk in this game. I can't see using anything else. I mean, it's just so good. Scavenger, I used to use all the time in Call of Duty, but because Fully Loaded is in this game, I have no reason to use Scavenger, so Lightweight is what I stick with, because I honestly never go on long enough streaks to actually have a need for Scavenger. So that improved movement speed is just so nice. I can't even imagine what this game would be like without Lightweight. I feel like it would be so slow, but I just love Lightweight. I love being speed around the maps. It's really fun with SMGs, really effective with ARs. And because I am such a rush-heavy player, having that improved movement speed where I'm super speedy around the map is always really nice to have. Now that all the perks are out of the way, coming in here with the lethal, I've actually gone for the Gammon Bomb here within this video now, or with this class. Now, there are a whole bunch of other lethals in this game, but none of them are really that good from what I've noticed. You know, the lethals back in Black Ops Cold War as well as in Modern Warfare 2019 were actually pretty good, but I rarely get any kills with my lethals. So these are all up to you. The Thermite is pretty good. The Incendiary Grenade is super annoying, but very popular in this game. They just don't do a lot of damage in this game. They really don't, which is why I am comfortable not using Flak Jacket or the Flak Jacket equivalent. So Gammon Bomb explodes on impact, pretty much is like a Semtex, sort of, in a way. It's just one of those quicker explosives, and you know, they can come in handy sometimes, but again, I rarely get any kills with it. I usually just throw these just so that I can know where an enemy is, not really necessarily to get a kill. So there we go, but again, that's up to personal preference. And last but not least, for my tactical, I've gone for Stim once again. Pretty much have not stopped using this type of equipment since Black Ops 4. Ever since manual healing came into Call of Duty, I've never wanted to go back to manual or automatic healing. It's just so nice to have. I can get into one gunfight, instantly get back into another gunfight within a couple of seconds. Unfortunately, within Vanguard, you only get 2, just like in Modern Warfare, versus it being sort of like the manual healing from Black Ops 4, which we had back in Black Ops Cold War, where it kind of just regenerated over time, which is kind of a bummer, which is, you know, it is what it is. Again, a lot of the times when I play this game, I really only need 2 stims per streak or per life, but again, I just like having that stim because it fits my playstyle best. Again, there's a whole bunch of other ones that you could use. The stun grenade is really good. I mean, I've been kind of annoyed by it lately because I think it does like 60 damage or something, which is really effective. But again, just having that stim is so nice. It also refreshes tactical sprint, in case you guys didn't know, which means you can be even more speedy around the map, which is really nice. Again, with an AR class, it's not really that useful, but again, just really love my stim. Love that manual healing because it really, you know, caters to my rush heavy playstyle. So with all of that out of the way, that was pretty much going to do it for the entire class. I did want to really briefly talk about field upgrades real quick because again, I know that those are kind of important. I personally use the supply box because I'm, you know, in this gameplay, I was using the supply box because I am going for, you know, atomic camo. So I like to be able to refill my explosives, you know, my rockets when I'm trying to shoot down streaks. But you know, if I were to actually use this class and not be going for camos, I'd honestly probably either use Dead Silence, Armor, or maybe Dead Drop, because Dead Drop is really good, but, you know, Dead Silence basically makes me have Ghost for a little bit of time, and Armor makes it so that I don't die as fast, and then Dead Drop, obviously I can keep my streak going. So those are probably the ones that I would pick through if I were, you know, to create this class fully for, you know, playing it with it. But again, because I'm going for camos, I have the supply box on. But again, the supply box is useful, you know, if you go on a really big streak and are getting low on ammo. But again, when you have like 225 ammo, you don't really need it that much. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this best class setup video covering the Cooper Carbine. So for some final thoughts about it, I do like it a lot. I think it is a really good AR in this game. I think it is definitely on par with the STG, and in fact, I'd say it might even just maybe outweigh the STG a little bit. I think if you have a gunfight with an STG and a Cooper Carbine, I think it's going to, you know, maybe be, you know, 60-40, where the STG is going to beat you maybe 10% more of the time. But overall, I really like the Cooper Carbine, and I think it was a really good starting weapon to have here within Vanguard. I'm definitely excited to see what other weapons we have in the game as time goes on. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are about the class. Again, this is all subjective. This is all personal preference for me. If you guys have any other class that you prefer, then you can leave that link down below, or if you want to switch some things around with this class, you can feel free to do that as well. This is just what I personally use with it, and I think it's a pretty dang good class. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, a like rating is always appreciated. If you want to check out any of my other previous best class setup videos from this game, they will be linked down below from the playlist in the description, as well as my previous best class setup will be at the end of the video as well. well. Also, let me know what gun you want me to cover next. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be covering the M1928 next, because I haven't done an SMG yet, and I'll see you guys all on another Call of Duty Vanguard video very, very soon.